And welcome to LADYADA.
Hey everybody, and welcome to yet another Sunday night. I know it's been a long weekend for many of us, or some of us are just working throughout the weekend. And so that's what we did, and that's why we have a lot to show off on this desk of LADYADA. Just going through what I have on my desk. This is it. This is my desk. And give you a little tour of the electronic goodies that we've been working on. Isn't that right?
That's right. On our YouTube channel and all of our social media platforms, to TikTok, to Instagram, you can see all the projects we've been doing, from late night board creation to some STEMMA Sundays to some samples of some stuff we've done. We're going to show some of those on Ask an Engineer this week, but at any time you can check out what we're doing. You pretty much know what we do hour by hour, all weekend long.
We also have an unboxing we're going to do.
A couple programming notes. On
Yes.
Friday we had a sale, and the sale is still going through the weekend, and then tomorrow there's a sale. Basically it's the same code throughout the weekend, so 15% off on pretty much everything. Tomorrow is going to be Circuit Python related stuff. Friday was Feather. Over the weekend,
Circuit Python Monday.
Other stuff. We also look for hashtags Black Owned and Buy Black Friday, and then we did ADA deals. So ADA deals was I email all the electronics companies out there and I say, hey, what deals do you have? And some of them are freaked out because they're like, why would you post our sales? And they don't get back to me. But some do. A lot of them do. And so we post up all of them, pound ADA deals, and hashtag ADA deals, and check out all the things. We're also going to do that tomorrow. And we also have Giving Tuesday coming up on the blog.
And if you have like a Tindy store or like Crowd Supply or whatever, and you have a sale, let us know.
Yeah, Tindy emailed me. So on our site, look at the ADA deals category or just the hashtag ADA deals, you can see what Tindy sent along to me. So check it out. And it's one of the things that we've always done. We always will. Us promoting someone's sale does not diminish us in any way. Our whole point of doing things is to share and to share with all of you. So anyways, thanks so much.
Just feeds the addiction.
Yeah, so thanks so much for the folks who sent stuff in and save some money. Adafruit doesn't have absolutely everything. That's not our point. We have what we think is best. So we'd like to point to others. So with that being said, LADYADA, what do you got on your desk this week?
Okay, well, how about we go through the unboxing first, because I have Cyber City.
That's right. We're going to try to do some unboxings on desk.
Yeah, we'll do the mailbag.
All right, so what do you got?
Okay, so I go to my computer, and I can show you what it is. So we got this kit from Cyber City Circuits. They do a monthly kit pack with this cute, like, Cyber Panda.
Maker company in Georgia.
Cool stuff.
Support
and you can get all sorts of cool kits and projects and products from them, and also CyberDigit, make a partnership. But they also do a box. Like, this is cool. America.
Yeah. So one thing, we celebrate and collect subscription boxes for makers, because we make one called AdaBox, and when we see ones, we get them too.
Yes. So you can pick up. I think these are monthly, recurring. They're $12 a month, and they're like a really great deal. So I thought maybe let's unbox this one. I kind of opened it a little bit just to make sure it had all the stuff in it.
We gotta do that.
But okay, so let me put this up. Okay, let's go to the overhead. Okay, so it comes in this cool box with this cute panda, and here's what. Sorry, so much it doesn't even fit under the overhead. Okay, first up you get adorable panda stickers. These are nice, like, vinyl-y stickers.
That's right.
So check this out. There's also some instructions, basic instructions, and like a QR code so you can get like the detailed tutorial for the kits. There's promo codes, other products. This bag is really nifty. This is made by, oh my goodness, what's her name? Is this Geek Bomb? No.
Yeah, I think that's Geek Bomb.
Geek Bomb. Everyone has so many unique names.
Yeah.
You can plug in a microbit and have LEDs shine through. I think this is that bag. We've got resistor color codes, more stickers, a bunch of reference cards. Okay, so that's that stuff. Okay, next up, let's do this one. So the first big kit you get is Arduino Pro Micro USB keyboard kit. So it looks like you solder a Pro Micro here, and then you actually have like a full QWERTY keyboard and even a space bar. And then inside there's a ton of tactile buttons. You can kind of see them through the reflection. You get diodes because there's an LED matrix. So you don't want to have any key ghosting. So this is a nice quality add-on. Some resistors for maybe LEDs or something. There's a little Pro Micro, adorable 32U4 Arduino. Still love these chips. These are great. Rock solid, have great USB keyboard support. And then headers and LEDs to complete your keyboard. So you can make a little keyboard kit. This is like crocheting. It's very relaxing. Just punch in all the buttons and then solder them in. Okay, so it's kit number 1. Put that away. This is a nice USB cable. I might snag that. Okay, next up, we've got a business card that can be made into an Arduino. You solder in a 3328. You can have an FTDI header, LEDs, pin 13 LED. This is cool. I've actually used these before, or I was going to use these through-hole mini USB connectors. They do exist, so it's like a through-hole USB connector. That's the client side, and then reset button, and then here's all the GPIO, and it's got like a nice like cyber silkscreen effect here. Okay, that's kit number 2. That one, I think this one you have to bring your own components, so it doesn't come with the components. It's just like the card. And then you also get, this is Rupee RGB earring. So let's see what's in here. Oh, this is actually comes pre-assembled. Oh, that's nice. All right, so each one
Those are cool.
gets a CR. Yeah, this is like from Zelda. You get the rupees. Okay, I think this goes like this. Oh, sweet. Here, I don't have I only have like one earring and my ear isn't pierced, but I can hang it like that. Can you see it? Did I do it the wrong way?
Well, I can zoom in on you.
Hold on, I did it the wrong way.
There is no wrong way. There's just multiple tries.
There you go. Nice.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So you get 2 of these. I'm totally going to give these away to someone who has pierced ears. Or I'll pierce my ears instead. So you get fully assembled in the chip. Probably like an
they have a
18
Black Friday coupon thing. It doesn't include subscription boxes, so do check out their site at cybercitycircuits.com and their subscription boxes.
I don't know what chip this is.
It's $12 a month.
I think it's an AT Tiny of some sort, or it could be an STM of some sort. It's a very small 8-bit chip, and there's like a programming port here. These are very cute. Comes with batteries and everything. All right, these are great. Makes for a great holiday gift. And they're not too heavy. You can wear them. They're definitely not as heavy as some earrings that I've had. So you could wear these and glow through the night. Good for New Year's. Celebrate. Okay, so that's the Cyber City Circuits kit. So subscribe to their kit to get this every month.
Yeah, if you like AdaBox, some people have said, I like AdaBox, but I want even more. And so Hacker Boxes, check out those.
Yeah.
And Cyber City Circuits.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, so what else you got going on?
Well, let me put this away. Maybe you can get the battery out while I clean up here. Okay, so next up, you're frightened of that battery. I will lower this overhead thing. Okay, next up, I worked on a couple things. So one, I made a breakout, if you guys remember, I made a breakout for this Coral TPU chip. And actually, soldered it onto a little breakout board, which is just like a plain breakout. And then I have a little 3.3 volt buck converter here. This is only 600 milliamps, but I think that'll get me started. A USB connector, and then I just connect the data lines up. There's a couple resistors needed, but it really just only needs 3.3 volts. And I plugged it in and enumerated. So that's kind of good. That means the power is good, the reset's good, and the USB lines are good. And I probably needed some bigger capacitors on here, but I just wanted to get it recognized by my computer. I got it recognized, and so the next thing I have to do is download a Coral optimized version of TensorFlow Lite and see if I can run that either on my computer or Raspberry Pi. And when this is plugged in, it downloads the model into this processor, and that's what does like the mathematical calculations for you. So in theory, stuff like MobileNet or SSD Lite, which are like 1 to 6 frames, maybe 7 frames per second on a Raspberry Pi 4, should be able to be like maybe 100 times faster, like at least 100 frames per second. So you get like real time, image recognition or like boxing of items. So that's going to be very exciting. So hopefully I'll get to that this week. This long weekend, I got to catch up on a bunch of stuff. Okay, so it's the Coral coming soon. I just started with a breakout, but I will make a better breakout later. This was like, did I even get the pins and packages right? Because it's a new pin and package, and I was a little bit paranoid because these are not inexpensive. Okay, next up, I did a bunch of STEMMA QTs. So one thing that's neat is my LTR390 samples came in, and the LTR390 is pretty cool because it's one of the few I2C UV sensors in existence. If there's one thing I know about UV sensors is they get discontinued. We've gone through like 3 and they keep getting discontinued, and it's really frustrating because people really want UV sensing, even if it's not the best UV sensing. They just want something to do like general UV light diode sensing. There's no real reason why such a thing can't exist, but like, I don't know, the market for it isn't that good or something. They keep getting discontinued. But the LTR390, we got it. We even got a quick library for it. And it works pretty well. It's an ambient light UV sensor. You have a disinfection bag, little thingy with a UV bulb. We stuck it underneath there and it absolutely detected it, but when we put it under a normal UV, non-UV light, it like didn't detect UV, so that was really effective. So we have a library for this, and this will be coming soon. Yay for the LTR390. Only problem is the chip has a lead time of 20 weeks. So I ordered some that were in stock, but hopefully we can get more later. Another weirdo sensor that I've been meaning to get to, and I finally got to this weekend, is the SCD30. This is a true carbon dioxide sensor, which is interesting. Most carbon dioxide sensors are actually volatile organic compound sensors that kind of, you sort of can tell about what the effective CO2 rating and indoors would be with that volatile organic compound sensor. So like the SGP30 and CCS811, they're not truly sensing CO2. This, I believe, is actually sensing true CO2, or better, because it's like $60. So this sensor better be doing what it says it's doing. But I think it is. Sensorion does a pretty good job. What's neat is I think there's like some sort of like heater element or something going on here. There's some lamp that's occurring, and I have this connected up to my Metro. And to start, I'm just using SparkFun's SCD30 library, which does quite a good job and gets the data. I've worked with Sensorion sensors. They're not tough, but you just have to do like the CRC check stuff, and they're a little picky. But I want to test out another STEMMA QT board that I designed in the meantime. This is a little level shifter and adapter board, because this is actually a 3 volt. Even though some people use it with 5 volts, it's actually not. It's a 3 volt sensor device. The documentation is a little unclear, but you don't want to run it off of 5 volt logic. You want to run off 3 volt. And so this board it connects to STEMMA QT and then gives me the level shifted outputs only, and so it makes it very easy to plug in. And then on my computer, I can go to the computer. So this is the LTR390. It's a little UV sensor. It's very straightforward, not a lot going on here. And then this is the eventual breakout for the SCD30. You can see it's a big, chunky thing, and then there's these headers down here that you connect to. You solder them on, and then it has a breakout. And I have like this 2 STEMMA QT connectors over here. So this will be like a plug-and-play CO2 sensor, which will go well. For people who really want true CO2 sensing. We were talking about this. Is actually becoming more common. People are verifying whether there's enough airflow in the building. They want to check the ventilation. So CO2 is a very good way of effectively testing that, because if you have a lot of humans, the CO2 builds up. It's not going to like hurt you or anything, but it just goes up a little bit because there's like more people. So you have to get more plants or more airflow.
All right, want to do some questions about...
Yeah.
Okay, so one question is about Coral.
Yeah. I don't know a lot about Coral, but ask away.
Well, this is about our design. So, assuming you had you hand reflowed, any issues reflowing the Coral BGA package, would you have to do an X-ray during production when you make a product out of it?
It's not a BGA, it's a QFN. It is a 0.5 millimeter QFN, but 0.5 millimeter isn't really an issue. Also, like 90% of the pins aren't used for anything; they're ground. So I actually wouldn't X-ray. I don't think I need X-ray. I think as long as you have pretty good heat distribution. Again, you only need like 6 pins to work. I mean, yes, you need the ground pins to work, but like there's a lot of them, right? So it's okay if like 1 or 2 is a cold solder joint. For USB, you need like the power, USB minus, USB positive, like 1 or 2 more power pins, a selected pin. There's only like 4 or 5 pins that are used. It's actually not. It's like it's 89 pads. That's just because of the package that they got. It's a mechanical stability thing. It's not a, or maybe a heat sinking thing. It's definitely not a connection thing.
Someone's making an open source gas chromatograph, and they want to know, is the VOC detector any good for signal detection output?
On what?
Is the VOC detector any good for signal detection output? I guess that was in regards to the...
Yeah, this one does not do VOC. I believe it does CO2.
Yeah, it says, will CO2 work as VOC?
No, I actually don't think there... I think there's... It's a little bit like, you know, the UV index sensors that really use light and then they kind of correlate it. I think if you're actually doing like gas sensing, you want to give the gas sensor for the gas you're sensing. It's the ones, when they have like effective CO2, it's kind of like, these are like indoor air quality sensors for like the home. You know, you're selling somebody like a home air quality thing, or like a Nest type thing. Just gives you a basic idea of your air quality. Or like, I think our like scale has a little CO2 thing built into it. It's not really a CO2 sensor. It's just like measuring overall air quality with the VOC sensor, which is, you know, Mach sensor, which is much cheaper, and then correlating it. And it works okay, but it's not for industrial use.
Okay. Moving right along.
All right, cool.
What's next?
All right, so that's that. I also, I'm going to I have 2 other big projects that I'm trying to wrap up. And I'm making some progress, and of course, I lost it. How did I lose? My RTK board. How did I lose my RTK board? Oh, it's underneath my other boards. They're all the same color. Okay, so let's go to the overhead. So I made this RTK shield like many, many months ago, and then like during COVID, I kind of just got a little distracted. But I'm back in action, and so I'm going to try to revisit this. We did a INPI for the U-Blox ZF9P. This is their RTK GPS chip, and it seems like all you have to do is you get 2 of these. They both have GPS. You don't need like a separate GPS sensor. This has GPS built in, and then you have UART or SPI data piping out of this, and you just have to get it to the other device, either wirelessly or with wire if you have a long enough wire, and then you can do precision RTK. And I think that we might be able to use like CircuitPython for this, or if not, I can use Arduino. But having a shield just makes it easy. I can pop it on top of, for example, the Metro ESP32S2 that we recently released. It's a native Wi-Fi chipset, it's ESP32, and so because it's native Wi-Fi, it's quite fast. So it could read the SPI data from this. It's got like super fast SPI, that's not the problem. Or hardware UART, and then pipe that over Wi-Fi. And I think you could have one act as an access point and then one connect to it, and that's how you would transmit data. Or maybe there might also be a specialized ESP32 point-to-point connection, because that way you could have like, you know, on one hand it's like, oh, Wi-Fi doesn't go that far, but you know, outside you can get like a couple 100 meters. That might be good enough. LoRa would give you more distance, but it's not as good. I think with Wi-Fi you're gonna, like, an ESP32 should get you at least as good as Bluetooth Classic, in my opinion. That's what people tend to use for RTK. But I really want to stay away from Bluetooth Classic. Although, you know, the ESP32 normally does do Bluetooth. So, I don't know, maybe that's an option as well, to use Bluetooth Classic instead of Wi-Fi. But I'm going to try Wi-Fi. I think Wi-Fi is a good option here. Because you can have like one access point, and then like you can maybe have sockets pass this data back and forth. But we'll see. So got this. And finally, I know we have to get going. Finally, the other thing that I'm finally getting to is a collection of CAN boards. So I've always kind of wanted to have CAN stuff. So I designed a Feather M4 with a SAM-E51. I think we talked about that in the previous show. And that's a SAMD51 processor, which I really like. It's the Cortex M4 from Microchip, XATMEL. And it has like a CAN-Bus controller, so it's more expensive, but it's like got native CAN, which is like pretty sweet. But if you want to add on CAN, this MCP 625, this QFN chip, it has the the standard like SPI CAN controller plus transceiver all in one like adorable little QFN package. Hat tip to Particle, because we actually had designed and basically finished our Featherwing using the separate chips, and then realized that you could get the all-in-one chip from a photo they posted. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. And one of the things that people like to do with CAN is they plug it into their cars, and they use this thing called OBD, not the wrapper. So this plugs into your car, I guess. I've never owned a car, but so I've heard. You plug this part into your car, and then the other side is this connector, which is a standard CAN pinout, one of many standard CAN pinouts, as I've learned. You plug this in, and then you can read data from your car and get like tuning information or like error codes and stuff. And like it's really common for people to do like car hacking. They get these CAN-Bus controllers. So I thought a Featherwing that you could plug this into, and then get your CAN, go into your OBD. I'm never going to get that right. And then plug it in, and then you can get data, and then you can like do whatever you want with it. Data log it onto an ADA logger Feather or whatever. So one thing that was neat is when we designed this, I wanted to have this connector, which I call a DB9, but is not. It's a DE9, but I'm going to call it a DB9, and you all just have to deal with it because that's just how it is. And there's this nifty technique where you can take these connectors, and if you get the solder cut version, the distance between the two like lines of pins is like exactly 1.6 millimeter, and so it can hug a PCB. You will still need to solder it, but it's like it's not coming off.
Yeah,
it's very solid. And so the only problem is I got this one and I got this one, and these don't connect, so I can't test them. So I thought I would go on DigiKey and get the connector that I need.
That's right. It's time for
Where in the world is that part I need? The great search with DigiKey.
Every single week, LadyAda uses the DigiKey site to show you how to find all the things you need. Thank you so much, DigiKey, for helping us make these shows happen.
I do this anyways, so now we just have a separate segment.
Yeah. So
Okay. So we've got this OBD2 cable, and this is connects to your car, and then this other side connects to a CAN-Bus device, and it uses a D-sub connector, which I call a DB9, but that's not technically the correct name. The correct name is a DE9. Why everyone calls it a DB9, I don't know. Somebody made the mistake once, and it's just in history. So it's common to see them called either DB9 or DE9. And there's like a bazillion little variants of like not the connector itself, but like flanged or on like wire or connected to like other wires or like panel mount. But the one I want, so let's go to the overhead real fast, is one just like this. I want one with solder cups so that this PCB has the connectors for this DE9 on here, and I want the version that hugs it. So this is the solder cup version, but I'll show you some other versions as well. These are not as common, these connectors, right? We are more used to HDMI and USB and Firewire even, like that's as old as it gets. But these old style serial or VGA connectors, you're still going to see them a lot, especially on industrial equipment. There's a lot of old standards that are they're never going to die. and they use these extremely durable old connectors. So you're going to have to include them in one of your designs eventually. You might as well know how to find them on DigiKey. So let's go to the computer. Okay, so again, I call them DE9 or DB9. They're actually DE9, but what you really want to search for is D-sub connector. Why are they called D-sub? I think they're considered like sub-miniature. Yeah, these are considered miniature connectors. And I think the D is because they have this little bit of D shape, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Anyways, what's cool is there's a ton of accessories and components for D-sub. So these are pre-assembled cables. So you can get these, again, like with metal, with plastic, with panel mount, with like this like kind of cool, weird like ribbon cable on the end. Like you have to fix your old Tektronix printer, you're set. You want rainbow cables? We got them. Pretty much anything you want. These cables and connectors have been manipulated for any use. They come in odd numbers. I think it's like 9, 15, and 25 are the most common. But then once in a while, there's like, I think Apple maybe had like a 21 pin, which was very rare. So there's like housings. So these are just the raw connectors. You probably don't want these unless you're really good at making cables. I personally have never purchased these, but you can just get the raw housing and then make your own custom cables. It's a bit much for me, but it's there. These are kind of cool, these back shells. They snap on and you can use a rounded cable into your D-sub. Good stuff. But we want the connectors. Okay, so one thing to warn about, there's like hundreds of thousands of these. So you want to really quickly pare them down. The first thing you want to pare down, well, other than just like active, because I always like to pare down active, is the number of positions. So these are the number of pins. And I know this is like a little confusing because there's like 915, 925. Sometimes that means there's like 25 pins, but not all of them are inserted. That's not too uncommon. If you're not sure, just select all of the ones that have the number 9 in them. Because like, who cares, right? And then you can start taking a look at the images and it's like, is this what you want? Because there's also 3-row and there's 2-row. This one's kind of nice. I like these. These are like, they have an IDC clamp on the back, so you can connect a ribbon cable and clamp it down. This is what these cables, like if you're doing a small run manufacturing of design, these cables are, you know, they don't mean anything, so you can kind of use them for any purpose. It's not like USB where the 4 pins have a meaning, like it's power, ground, D minus, D plus. With these, it's like, it's a free-for-all. There's no like standard connectivity that you need to follow. Okay, so next up, I want the termination. Okay, again, it's like every kind of termination you could want. There's press fit, there's the IDC clamp, there's wire leads. It's cool, let's look at those. Yeah, these are like, look at this. It's insane. Okay. But what I want is the solder cup, because that is the particular kind that has the hugging effect on a PCB. So we'll grab those. Okay, and this really like pared it down. And then the question is, do I want the socket or pin type? If you're not sure, again, look at the images. No, I don't want this type. I want this type. This is the type that mates into the cable. And this is called a pin connector, plug. So let's search for plug. Cool. Number of rows, 2 rows, because we can see the cable. And then, you can just search for, in stock, for example. And then these are all, like, there's going to be slight variations. Some are gold, and some have, like, this nice big plate. And this is just the housing for it. So you're going to see a lot of accessories. These are really gorgeous. These are, like, all-in-one, like, attachment back shells. You can shop forever. But I'm actually just going to sort by price. And I see Amphenol has these in bulk. These look good, free hanging. They're gold plated. They can handle up to 3 amps, which is awesome. And then you can even check out the rotating version. Sometimes you want to check this just to verify that this is exactly the kind of connector you want. So yeah, this is what I want. Sweet. So this is it. The Amphenol DE09064 TXLF.
All right, and that's a great search for DigiKey this week.
All right.
Where in the world is that part I need? The great search with DigiKey.
All right, that's our show for tonight.
Yes.
Full week of shows this week. So Tuesday, product pick with JP. We got Wednesday, 3D Hangouts with Noah and Pedro. Then we have Show and Tell and Ask an Engineer. Then we have JP's Workshop on Thursday. Then we have Deep Dives with Scott. Monday is Cyber Monday, so look for the sales there. And continue to look on our site for ADA deals. Those are blog posts and social media posts tagged ADA deals, which are other companies, not Adafruit, that does stuff. And then on Tuesday, Giving Tuesday, we celebrate all sorts of things like nonprofits and educational groups and more. So we'll get the word out as well. Please, as our public service announcement, if you did travel, I know some people, they did. No, not going to shame you because it doesn't work anyways. Please consider staying away from people and getting tested before you circulate back into the population or around people. I can tell you, as a company, the families of Adafruit are affected by COVID. We've had There is tragedy out there, and we feel this every day. Everyone has someone or knows someone that has been affected by this. So if you did travel, please consider doing that because it's not just about you; it's about other people. And couple days, just staying home and then getting tested could save a lot. So if you did, please do that. And if you did stay in, just keep doing that. Wear a mask, stay distant.
Have some leftover. Hang out with us.
We only have a little bit longer to go, folks. I know it's going to suck a little bit, but things will be better. Our theme for the holidays this year is Good Fortune Ahead. So please stick around so we can make some cool stuff together in 2021 together.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
That's Escalade 8 tonight.
See you later this week.